Hey y'all, so this is going to be a very poorly shot, very bad camera angles of changing out the shaft drive oil in your Goldwing. People have asked about it. I've seen other videos about it. I'm going to link a couple other videos in this description, simply because they made it easy to be able to do the job. It's just something that a lot of people have asked me about it. Why do you change it so much? I've changed it 3 times. The first time was, like I said, I think in the video I'll talk about it, but right after I got it, it was low and I felt like I needed more. The second time was, of course, after I did the first service, and now that I've done another service, I just changed it out because I think it's just the easiest way to be able to make sure that you are taking good care of your bike. I know it says not to change it after 3 years. I'll put in what the manual says. I think I took the pics and put that in, but I do it just because it's preventative maintenance, you know. So I'm gonna get into it real quick with this, and then we'll come back and talk about it at the end.
All right, so talking about changing the shaft drive oil or the gear oil. First thing, I've got my gasket and washer, the little rubber O-ring, in fact they're right there. I've got my 17 millimeter wrench, 6 millimeter Allen head, and I got a smaller one. I got this injector. It's just a marinade injector that I got off of Amazon. It's like $9. Makes it easy. I got a measuring cup, which, you know, as I went and looked, hey, guess what? The ounces are gone. So I'm gonna have to go grab another one. This is to clean the injector out. These are the other needles for the injector. I was using this before and this thing sucks, but whatever. And this is what I'm gonna drain my gear oil in. Again, I'm gonna go through it real quickly. I did this on the Valkyrie. It's actually the same process, but I kind of figured there's other good videos out there. In fact, I have to get the guy's name and put it in here. Watch the video on YouTube, and the guy used this and it worked real well, so that's what we're gonna go with. So we'll jump forward to getting things ready. Okay, so first things first, that's your fill plug right there. You wanna pop that off first, the 17 millimeter wrench, and then your drain plug is right there. That's gonna be second. You definitely wanna make sure you loosen this first. I've seen plenty of guys say that they screwed up and did the drain first, and then this got seized and they were screwed. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that off. It's gonna be hard to film, but I'll show you what I did here in just a second. All right. So I loosened it already with the 17 millimeter. There you are, the little rubber O-ring came out. As you can see the little rubber O-ring there, that's what goes in there. We'll change that out. It doesn't look bad, but I think it's worth it not taking a leak. Now, if you look, one thing people say, you gotta be careful because these will crack. I wound up putting 2 Uggas and a Dug on everything, and that's a bad idea, so I have to be careful. Now I'm gonna go with a 6 millimeter on the drain plug, and we'll go from there. All right, you can see I'm loosening it. And there it's draining, as you can see. I use this thing. This was just an easy cutout I did, but yeah, that's your 6 millimeter drain plug popped out. All right, something else that I'm gonna do is I'm going to clean these guys off with some brake clean. I'm just gonna take them and spray them off and make sure they're good and clean. And then I'll show you what I do. I'm gonna replace this little rubber O-ring right here, and I'll replace the washer that is actually still over there. So you know how I like to show you when I make mistakes. I had the wrong gaskets and stuff. I actually had bought different gaskets, but hey, look, there's the right gasket. There's the right washer. I had them, I just had them in a bad spot. The other thing I'm gonna tell you, I have my son out here. I'm gonna stand this up and make sure I get all the fluid. I don't have a center stand, so what we're about to do is he's gonna stand it up and I'm gonna watch it. I replaced the little rubber O-ring. There's the old one. It doesn't look bad. I reused the rubber O-ring when I first did the change on the Valkyrie, but I just decided to get the washer and the O-ring just to be safe. I fixed to measure out my 4.7 ounce. So in complete and total transparency, I spilt some shit in my bucket. Damn it. As you see there's a drain hole. I did clean it up a little bit. Washer's gone, no washer on there now. Brand new washer in hand. Get it threaded, which I have it threaded.
Had it hand tight, and now I'm gonna tighten it with the wrench. Got a brand new washer on there. I'm gonna spray and clean that off here to make sure everything's good and clean, so that when I go back to check it, if I have any drips, I will know. I'm fixing to brake clean it as we speak. I don't know if you can see any of this or not. We're gonna find out. And now comes the fun part, which is filling it up. See? All right, so you fill up the baster. Now what I'm doing is I'm letting it drip a little bit here, because you're gonna have some run down here. Just try to be careful. This is a whole lot easier than doing any other method I've seen thus far. I just slowly put it in there. This injector holds right at 1 ounce. So you're gonna wind up doing this 4 times, then the 7 ounce for the 5th time. But as you can see, thus far, yes, it does get a little drip. I'm not gonna tell you it's perfect, but as you can see me filling up, I just take my time with it. I'm not in a hurry. This is the Honda gear oil we talked about earlier. And this method is not nearly as hard to fill up as other previous ones I've done. So I can tell you right now, thus far, I'm pleased with the way this is working out. All right, presto, change-o, rearrange-o. We have filled it up. I'm fixing to put the cap back on, and I'm gonna tighten her down very, very carefully. Hand tight first, which I don't think I have to tell you guys. That's gonna be difficult for me to film and do this. Let's see how talented I am or am not. We all know my camera angles tend to suck to begin with. So there it is right there. I'm just gonna hand tighten it first. I got her on. Got her on, got her snugged down. I don't see anything coming out of there. Don't see anything coming out of the drain plug currently. All right, so real quickly, I took my baster apart, shot it with brake clean, cleaned it, cleaned out my measuring cup, which my wife's gonna kill me because this is like one of her glass measuring cups. I'm sure she didn't want me using that here for this, but you know, hey, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs, dear. My shit was kind of dark, as you can look in there and see. There was some leftover grit and grime from previous jobs. Again, like I said, I just try to do things real simple. Try not to break and crack the cap is important. So one thing I'll tell you, I changed this primary drive when I first got the bike because people said, hey, it's kind of, when they put the first shaft drive oil in there, that they don't put enough. Well, when I got mine out the first time, it was like 3 ounces. I tilted the bike over, did everything like I felt like I should, and it still wasn't much in there. I did it again at around 6,000 miles. I'm sorry, 4,000 miles for the first service. I put the Honda oil in. The first time I actually put Amsoil Severe Gear Oil in there. People jump up and down about Honda oil, so I put the Honda oil in this time. And I know people say, man, you're changing out too much. I think that the manual says to change it out at 24,000, or maybe it's 24,000. I believe in the manual, or it's either 18,000, 24,000. I'll put that in here. That's ridiculous. The one thing that a Honda tech that I talked to told me was, dude, that is the one part of the bike that it concerns him the most is the shaft drive. The motor's rock solid, but the shaft drive. So I said, well, fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I think it's just peace of mind. Very simple thing for you to do, very simple thing to figure out. But again, I think it's easier to do this than it is to go through the bullshit of having a problem with the bike later on. Hey, y'all, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and hit the little bell icon so you get notifications when the shit show gets rolling again. Just a real simple video on changing out the shaft drive oil. I had to do it, use the Honda oil. Man, look, as long as I think you're changing it out and you're keeping it up with it when you do oil changes or do good services, I don't think it matters if you use Amsoil or whatever. My last change was Amsoil. The first two were with Amsoil, and then now I went back to Honda just because I was in there and decided to grab some of their gear oil and their to change it out. So again, there are people who are like, no, you gotta fucking use Honda every time. Honda oil, or you got to use them. Everybody's got their own belief. Hey, I think as long as you're doing the preventative maintenance and doing the work, I think you're fine. So hope this helps out somebody. The Goldwing owners, those of you that are out there, and there's plenty of Goldwing owners, because the same type of, same thing I did on this, you can do on the other 1800s, or you can do on the 1500s, or damn near anything else. It hasn't changed that much. There's some differences on the 1500s and the older 1800s, but not much. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope this was helpful. To the Harley people, it's not helpful, but you learned something about a Honda today, so look at you. Anyway, I want you guys to have a great day. Let's try not to be assholes to each other, and I'll see y'all next time.
Foundation is sound. I still do the shit for my people, for Roberto, for Justin, for Jared, for Nico, Big Smitty, Big O, say stay lit.